Hello and welcome. My name is Nancy and today I'm here to do a book haul. It has been a while. Actually, it hasn't been a while. I've been spending way too much money on books. But anyway, actually that's not true. I had gotten a bunch of ARCs, so that's how I got my books. Very frugal, very discounted, and I was also very stressed about my exam. That's how I bought these. It's not a good excuse, but I'm happy, so let's just get into it. The first one I got was Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. This is only the dust jacket because I am currently reading the book. I was in the middle of reading the first book, Skyward. That's when I thought this was the perfect time to get Starsight because I was really enjoying Skyward. So I'm going to talk about Skyward instead of this one. Skyward essentially follows around this character called Spensa, who is living in this like outer space kind of a planet. I don't know. Anyway, something happens in her life that completely changes things for her. Spensa has always wanted to be a pilot since she was a little kid, and Spensa's world had been attacked for a really long time. Basically, the pilots are heroes because they are like the war people ahead, I guess. They're supposed to keep this like planet place alive, essentially. But her fate has been intertwined with the things that her father has done. Her father was also a pilot who was killed years ago because he abruptly deserted his team, which left Spensa's chances of attending flight school to be very slim. No one has ever let Spensa forget what her father had done. He's essentially known as a coward, like he's not good for anything, and obviously Spensa is most likely going to be like that as well, and people expect that of her. Things go in a very different way, and she might even be able to be a pilot, which is the best thing that could possibly happen to her. We're just following around Spensa and the little things that she does, which really annoys a lot of people. And yeah, that is basically the plotline of Skyward, and I'm really excited to get Starsight, which I'm super pumped about reading. Alright, moving on. I got two books by Marie Lu. I got Rebel by Marie Lu. I have read Warcross and Wildcard by her, but I haven't read anything else of hers, and I had enjoyed those two books quite a bit, and I don't know why I haven't picked up anything else by her so far, but I honestly have no clue what these books are about. I do have two other books by Marie Lu which I have not read, but I think these were like the second or third book in the series, and I just never got around to reading them. Let me actually figure out if this is the first book in the series or not, because otherwise I'm going to be spoiling myself. Well, it's a good thing I checked. This is book 4, so I'm not going to be reading the synopsis of this one. We could have book 1, which is Legend, because I am such a dumbass. Okay, we are in what used to be the United States, but it is home to the Republic right now, and it's a nation perpetually at war with its neighbors. Is it Canada? Okay, anyway, we have two different people. June, who is born into a very elite family who's very rich. She is a 15-year-old prodigy who's being groomed to be great, essentially, among the Republic's highest military circles. And we also have 15-year-old Day, who's born in the slums and is also the most wanted criminal in the country. But his motives might not be as malicious as it had been assumed. These two characters have no reason to interact with each other until one day June's brother, Matthias, is actually murdered, and the prime suspect is Day, unfortunately. So obviously Day is trying to keep his family safe, and it's like a cat and mouse race trying to figure out what is going on and everything, but these two characters' lives kind of interconnect, and they realize one of the major hidden truths. It seems like a very interesting series and a very futuristic kind of an aspect, and it might be kind of dystopian. It gives me vibes of being dystopian. I haven't read any dystopian in a very long time, so I don't know how much I'll enjoy this, but obviously I need to get through 3 books to get to this one. Good job, Yancy. Next up, I got another Marie Lu book. I don't think this is part of a series, so good on me, I guess. It is The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. I have seen this book floating around for so long, and it has a stupid sticker, which I don't think I can take off without it actually damaging the cover. But anyway, I'll try to do that later. This one follows around the Mozart kids, essentially. There's Nana Mozart. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but anyway. She is a very talented young woman living in the 18th century, and she wants to compose music and actually, you know, make people hear it, I guess. But during this time, it is not permitted for women to actually compose anything. She can only perform until she's of marriageable age, and after that she's not allowed to perform at all. And her tyrannical father has made sure that she knows about that. On the flip side, we have her younger brother Wolfgang, who is also very talented. His brilliance almost shines over hers, and until one day a mysterious stranger comes from a magical land with an irresistible offer. He has the power to make her wishes come true, but it could potentially cost her everything. everything. I believe this book is supposed to be very lyrical and sweet. That's why it has gotten so much hype over it. I've heard so much about it. The cover is absolutely stunning and the premise seems like something that I would personally really enjoy, and I'd really like to get to it very soon. Next up, I got a book kind of on a whim. It is A Golden Grave by Erin Lindsay. This is supposed to be like a mystery novel. I've been in such a mood for mystery and thrillers lately that I was like, you know what? This might be really good for me. I can try to read this one. So there's this girl named Rose who is like a maid basically, but she quickly learns how to shoot a gun. She learns to be very good, and there's like some sort of paranormal aspect into this book. I'm not really sure how it's gonna run out, but I'm getting like major vibes of, what is it called? The Libba Bray books, The Diviners. I really think I'm getting a lot of vibes from The Diviners from Libba Bray, which I really had enjoyed when I read those books as well. So I feel like this is going to be very similar, but has a mystery concept to it as well. Very interested to see how this is going to go. This is pretty short, I think like 350 pages, so it's not very long. And I feel like I could get through it pretty well, so I'm very excited to get to this one. Next up, I haven't read any of the books or stories of Sherlock Holmes other than seeing the TV show. I used to have a giant book, my brother used to have a giant book of all the Sherlock Holmes stories. I got this paper mill edition of Sherlock Holmes' The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I don't know if this has all the stories. He's a detective. His stories are very well known, with Watson, who's like a sidekick, who's also pretty smart, but definitely not as much as Sherlock Holmes. It just tells you the stories of his detective work and all that kind of stuff, and it's supposed to be super cool, super interesting. I love the paper mill books because it has a bookmark as well, which is so cool. I personally really like how this feels and everything is just really good. I don't know what else to say about this book, so we're moving on. Okay, so I also got Anna K by Jenny Lee. This one is inspired by Anna Karenina, which is a book by Leo Tolstoy, I think. We have 17-year-old Anna K who has been in a relationship since she was like 14 or 15 with this guy named Alexander. She's at the top of Manhattan and Greenwich society. She lives with her dogs and horses. She has the most perfect boyfriend who she's been in a relationship with for a very long time, albeit he could be a little bit boring, and she's always made her Korean American father very, very proud of her. As her friends have always been struggling through teenage life, Anna just sailed through all of these years, and she's just the epitome of perfection. We're following around a bunch of different characters as well. We're also following around Anna K's older brother Stephen and a couple of other characters as well, but mainly we're following around Anna K and her story. Everything goes perfectly for Anna until she meets with Count Vronsky. He gets the name Count maybe because of the amount of people that he has slept with. He's only 16 years old. Just keep that in mind, by the way. Just, I think that's weird, but anyway. Alexia and Anna somehow take a liking towards each other, and things kind of go weirdly from there on. By the way, I've already read this book. I'm just gonna warn you quickly. This has a lot of cheating in it, so if you're not like super into it, that's, yeah, a lot of cheating. Like, left and right, everywhere. There's so much cheating. It was definitely a really good book as well, so yay! The next two books I got were The Name of All Things and The Memory of Souls by Jen Lyons. These are the second and third book of the series The Chorus of Dragons. So again, I'm going to go look at what the first book was about, The Rune of Kings. So we have Kieran, who is a bastard orphan. He has grown up on storybook tales of Lost Princess and Grand Quests. He has this huge picture of what that would be like. He's claimed against his will as the long-lost son of a treasonous prince. Kieran quickly finds out that being a long-lost prince is not as glamorous as it sounds. He's being held against his will. He's being basically treated like a prisoner and to the whims of the people who are like his family, essentially being controlling of him and doing things that he personally does not want to do. All the stories that he knows about heroes is not how it's going for him. Maybe he's not a hero because he's actually destined to destroy the kingdom. But he also learns more things about dragons and demons and gods and prophecies that in storybook tales were not necessarily true, but in this case it could potentially be true, and he's trying to figure things out for himself. He's unlearning all the storybook tales because they are all so very different right now, and it's very exciting, and I feel like there's so much that's going on in this series and we really like to get to it. Obviously I have the second and the third book. I need to get to the first one in order to get to these, but yeah, I'm very excited to have these as well. Alright you guys, those are all the books that I got very recently and I was very excited to talk to you all about. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Ansu. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you all in the comments. Bye! Okay, I remember when I said I got books as very discounted prices. This book was $38.50 Canadian. 38. What the f— I got it for $5, so